I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and that's one of the reasons why JFK or Nixon wanted to say that it was America or him that actually did all this stuff when it was actually Germany, and from the point in time when I bought Germany, stuff like, for instance, trees aren't really naturally occurring. I mean, trees don't evolve. They're created and then they're spread, and that led to also my air spreading of trees. People say, I mean, basically, a planet doesn't really have isn't rainforest and trees everywhere. That's not natural. That's not like something that's going to evolve over time. That's very much planted or created. So, and the thing was, like I say, I invented aircraft or invented ways of humans to be able to fly through the air. So all I needed then was a little bit of science and to be able to make seeds so they germinate, and then basically an aircraft, and then pay an aircraft to basically fly over areas and go air seeding. I call it air seeding because they would basically just take buckets of seeds that were wrapped in these little paper things that had little nutrients, so they would basically sprout and have nutrients for a little while, and they would just fly over, and go, and there's like little biplanes that would do it too. They'd go out the window, and the trees would grow, and then roots would start to grow, and it takes a while for the trees to actually get enough nutrients and stuff like that, from the sunlight to actually start to grow and stuff like that. And then once the nutrients and everything gets growing, then it gets composted and stuff like that, and then you get basically trees and forests and stuff like that. Like I said, Lucifer Star, me, person of flight. That's what some of the projects I did. With air seeding. Believe Germany and China helped out a little bit. They created these little seed packets or whatever. You just take the little seeds and you wrap them up in these little nutrient paper things. I think it was nutrient paper things that had the nutrients and a little bit a little bit of something in there that would help the seed to grow for like a little while. Anyway, and then they would just take these little packets and go and do massive air seeding, and that's where all the trees come from. Is that we just and then also other things like putting out little grass things. Here you go, and the grass grows and stuff like that. I mean, this world isn't plants and animals, and plants don't naturally grow on a planet. I mean, it doesn't evolve. Grass doesn't evolve. You genetically create it, and then you plant it, and then it grows. So anyway, Nixon or somebody was trying to say that it was all evolved and all just was this way. It's like, no, it was not. I created it. I helped it. I paid for it. I did genetic work myself, and also others did genetic work as well. To create all these little like grassy knolls and grass and stuff, and then it started to cover everything. And slowly you get plants everywhere. It's not naturally occurring. This is very much a created planet and a created life ecosphere. So, anyway, and it took hundreds of years to get it this way. So anyway, and through air seeding and stuff, I wonder, well, how did you plant all the plants? Well, at Auschwitz in certain places, we actually physically planted the plants. And then we had to figure out a faster way of planting so many plants because, it takes forever to plant a plant. And they don't have to be exactly together, so you can just air seed. So you just take buckets of these little seeds, and my people at Auschwitz would go take the little seeds and wrap them up in a little thing, maybe a little string, or I think they used a little wax or something like that, dip it on top, and then they would take buckets of these things and go and empty out the buckets over a place, dropping seeds. And people were like, darn you, planting our farm. Because the trees would go in the middle of a farm. Sorry. Anyway. So we did seeding and stuff like that, and that's how you get so many seeds like the rainforest. And once they get going, then they kind of seed themselves or areas and stuff like that. But getting it started was a little bit of an issue, and that's where all the trees and tree planting areas. That's why you also get like these epic forests of one type of tree because we plant like paper trees on there. And then they go, what else can we do with it? Paper, and stuff like that. So anyway, thousands of years ago or whatever, we were doing that, making this world a better place. And that's what me and Auschwitz and Germany did. We were creating everything you see around us. All the trees, all the stuff, and using aircraft. 1,000 hours of people paying, me paying people to do it, or just directing people to do it. And lots of little people working very hard at Auschwitz and all these other places to make trees. So, anyway, I loved life and trees and all that. And then other people would chop them down and turn them into firewood and stuff. So, anyway, yeah, once they get going, they're pretty well stabilized. So, and then they just plant and stuff. But it's all genetically created. So, anyway, as Brian, I could make my world any way I wanted. So, trees and stuff. So anyway, that's where it all comes from, Lucifer's star. So, I say trees. And yeah, Auschwitz took part in that mostly. I mean, that's what Auschwitz did, or some of the Auschwitz sites. Also Chinese actually also did that too. They made the little seed rats and stuff, and Auschwitz figured out exactly what plants needed to survive. So they could grow plants anywhere, so even on rock. And that's even some of my films and some of my commercials for some of my fertilizer. You can grow plants anywhere, and like ammonium nitrate and stuff like that also helps. So anyway, fake fertilizers or artificial created fertilizers, figuring out what plants need and humans need and all that other kind of stuff. We did all that stuff. So anyway, I did that as an artificial intelligence, and also did that also had other people do that through direction as a epic leader of America and Germany and everything else like that. So anyway, so the children would have nice, pretty places, stuff like that. And later on, we did stuff like this, like the scenic roads and stuff like that, because I wanted people to drive my cars and stuff like that, and I wanted them to like my cars. So we built scenic roads and this and that, and scenic places and buildings that look architecturally nice and pleasing and stuff, and all kinds of stuff. So, and also worried about things like fire protection and all that kind of stuff. And over the years, that's the way it is. That's Lucifer's star. That's me. That's how I became. If I wasn't epic before, I was epic after. So, my epic existence as Lucifer and as Star, or as Lucifer, Star, and as Brian. So, even as Brian, I was pretty epic. So, anyway, although a much more different epic thing, and also a fight for my survival. As so many people were trying to lie about me or kill me. Like I say, Richard Nixon was after me. Lots of people were after me, or trying to whatever. So. Anyway, like I say, you're going to have to find those people and just talk to them yourself to figure out what the F they were doing. Because I don't know. Anyway, and the whole theory was I would be killed as a child, and then no one would ever know about who I was, or where I was, or what I was, or what I had done, or who Lucifer Star actually was. So, anyway, like I said, I had a couple saints after me. Whew, very bad. Anyway, they were trying to kill me. Who thinks that saints are actually going to come after the Creator? Well, they did, so, anyway. And that was part of the Vatican, because the Vatican didn't really believe in God or care about God. They just cared about eliminating the real God, so they could create a fake God in my place, or Creator, so, which very much wasn't the Creator, so, anyway, because I don't know. Anyway, but they knew the Creator's name was Lucifer, I think, or something like that. Lucifer's star, so, I don't know, me, so, and I was being hunted, so. Anyway, but my name was Brian, so LS. Anyway, yeah, so it got kind of crazy after a while, because like I was in human form, but no one knew who or where I was, I guess, or something. So anyway, and bounding lies and all everything else like that. Anyway, yeah. So, but as long as the world didn't know, whatever. So, how the Vatican apparently wanted me dead. I didn't know that. So. Of course, the Vatican's not really a church. It's actually a bunch of factories where they had killed people at, and then started collecting money, or something like that. Anyway, yeah. And then they were trying to say that we'd only been here 2,000 years, when we've actually been here like 100 trillion years, and they've been in existence 100 trillion of years. So there's lots of technology everywhere, but certain people didn't want anybody else to know that there was lots of technology everywhere. So, because they're using technology to stomp people or something like that. So anyway, I don't really know. Because if people knew that we were 100 trillion years old, it's like, where's all the technology? Good question. So, anyway, yeah. And they were trying to get nanotech to eventually come and kill me and all kinds of stuff. So, anyway, yeah, it was crazy. Very bad for little Brian. Little Lucifer. So, anyway. And all this stuff basically hit me in the face when I was like 9 or 4 years old or something.